gang, Ryan here. Uh, Yesterday I made a post about that I was working on a book and mentioned that I was going to maybe do some behind the scenes videos of putting it together, the process and everything. So that's what this is we're starting on that. I'm not some great YouTuber and I don't have all the fancy equipment for that necessarily, or I guess I kind of do, but I haven't used it that way. So anyhow, so they'll be kind of crude videos. Currently just using Zoom to record with, and I'll do some screen sharing, kind of show you guys my thoughts process, a little behind the scenes. But anyhow, part of the reason for me doing a book is, of course, a few years ago when I'd done rodeos and I've had people ask even on my nature stuff about coffee table books, etc. in the past. And I've thought about it, mentioned it to others. It's something that's been in the back of my mind for a long time of doing. But this year, one of my photography mentors, Don Giannetti, great guy, by the way, if any of you ever come across him on social media or whatever, follow him. Really good guy. But anyhow, he had pushed us to start a book this year, and been discussing it, talking about it, and went ahead and just that was that extra push I needed to get that rolling. So started the process. It's my first one that I'm going to do is going to be based off the rodeo series I did a couple of years ago. I wish I would have had pictures from this year to put into it, but it as everybody knows, with COVID, things got kind of wonky and weird, and hopefully going forward it won't be as much of an issue. I'm going to try to, may not get to do full rodeos this year, but I am going to try to find a few events here and there that I can take a few images of, and maybe I can do a second book down the road with it. But anyhow, I'll kind of jump over, share my screen here real quick. And so part of the process is, of course, first deciding what topic you're going to be doing. And my choice was to start with the rodeos that I'd done, like I said earlier. And then is deciding what pictures, what direction to go with it. As I'm looking back through from that series, I have times, days that I've got well over 500 images from each shoot. In fact, there was like, I think one of them I had over 1,000 images that I shot that rodeo. And just going through and deciding what images are we going to use, and then which processing. And so it's taken some time to kind of weed them down. One of the things that helped me on this, for this book, is the fact that I had already done a couple calendars. And so what I did to start out with on this is, since I had done calendars, I had already pulled them over into kind of some areas to look at already. So I had it already weeded down to around 250, 300 images to start with. And I'm currently in the process of weeding those out. I'm down to, going through them, and it just, man, there's so many images that it's hard to know which ones that really want to be in the book. I mean, look at that. Just the action there, the feel of it, just, I don't know, man. Hard to say no to a lot of them. They just, so many of them resonate with me as I look through these pictures. And so that process is one of the, I think probably one of the harder processes of building a book, is just knowing exactly what you're going to show. If I showed everything I wanted to, this book would be, you guys have to have a wheelbarrow to haul it around. And of course, nobody could afford it at that point either, myself included. But anyhow, so I started working through them. Did that the other night from my selection that I'd already narrowed down for calendars. Like I said, that 200 to 300 that I'd went through out of the thousands of images I had. And the other night I couldn't sleep real well and got up and decided to make productive use of that time. And I've narrowed it down to 55 images so far. And I'm currently today in the process of trying to decide roughly for sure how many images I'm going to go with. I don't think I'm going to use full 55, probably looking at around 30-ish. And so that is going to be the next step in my process, is doing that. I've been trying to decide, there's so many decisions in making the book. Of course, like I said, there's the topic, and there's narrowing down the images, the format, you know, is the book going to be landscape laid out, you know, kind of like a horizontal, or am I just going to work within the what's normally considered a book, you know, the more vertical. Most of my images are horizontal, so that one's a little bit more of a challenge for me at the moment to decide which direction I'm going to go, because I do want to add some text in, and so then that is another direction that I've got to make some decisions on currently, is what I'm going to be saying about the images. What direction do I want to take the theme of the book? And that right now is something I'm really doing some considering on. I've had a few ideas, and a couple of them excite me, but yet scare me at the same time, because what they would require is me interviewing a few of the different cowboys in the area. And I do like that idea, and I want to do it, but yet, if anybody knows me very well, I'm actually pretty shy, and it's hard for me to put myself out there and ask people to let me, especially something like that, let me interview them. That's a hard thing for me to do, but it's something I'm going to have to overcome, because I really think I would like to do that. And even if it's not for this book, for a project down the road, I would like to do that. And that way I could get some pull quotes from them, some insight and wisdom from them, and I think something like that would just go really well with this book, you know, having excerpts from conversations on the pages. So that's one direction I'm looking at going. Like I said, it's still work in progress. Haven't totally figured out what I'm going to do on all of it, but that's part of the process. So anyhow, got to figure that out, come down to 30-ish images, 30, 32, then we'll figure out what kind of text we're going to go with, what theme, and I'll probably be checking back in with you guys, doing another short little video of where we went. So take it off the screen share here. Uh-oh. Sorry, hitting the wrong buttons. Technology, it's fun, isn't it? So anyhow, thank you guys for checking in. Hope it was kind of entertaining, hopefully, for you guys. I hope it'll help anybody that has thought about doing a project, to help push you along and show that, yeah, it's not easy, it's challenging, but do it anyway. Who cares? If I never sell one of these books, I'm going to be happy I did it. So anyhow, everybody take care and enjoy the rest of your day.